It's getting close to that time, draft season. Let's talk about the free agents the Cardinals have already picked up and what might be coming in the draft. Stay tuned.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh.
Murray heaves it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic.
The sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome to the sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Singh, and we're in the off season. The Cardinals have been pretty slow during this free agency, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. In fact, NFL.com's power rankings mention this. So I'm just going to give you a little read here. The Cardinals have been the quietest team in the NFC West by far, at least in terms of buzz. Ooh, that sounds mysterious, right? The Seahawks have undergone a massive overhaul, the 49ers have lost a ton of big contributors, and the Rams have made major changes at the receiver. Arizona's top moves have paled in comparison volume-wise, but there's hope that Josh Sweat can become a top pass rusher and a strong complement to Darius Robinson, Baron Browning, and the new nose tackle, Dalvin Tomlinson. It's an interesting little group the Cards are putting together there. Arizona has intrigued me, the reporter at NFL.com, the past few seasons, but with this incarnation, I'm not quite there yet and have no problem with this team going offensive line in round one and leaning even more into the run game next season. Shoot, I couldn't agree more, and I've actually been saying this since it started, the off season started, I should say. I have been saying our defensive line is fine. I'm happy with our defense. I feel like our defense is really what helped us win a lot of games last season. And the defense feels strong. Is it even stronger now? Sure. Do we want to use our very first pick of the draft on another defensive player? I'm not sold on that. Obviously, NFL.com isn't sold on that. And I took a look at the most recent mock draft, ArizonaCardinals.com. If you check out the latest news, you can see that they've been doing a draft tracker and keeping track of mock drafts and who lands in the 16th spot. I was happy to see an offensive tackle here in the mock draft in the 16th spot, offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas. So here's what azcardinals.com has to say about Kelvin Banks. He's projected as one of the top offensive linemen in the class. So that's good to know. He allowed only one sack and won the Outland Trophy and the Lombardi Trophy. He's 6'4", 320 pounds. He can play at tackle or slide into guard. And the experts are saying, CBS Sports' Kyle Stackpole, he is in favor of picking up offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. Whether Kelvin Banks Jr. plays guard or tackle, the Cardinals will be happy to have him protecting Kyler Murray and blocking for James Conner. Shoot, don't we need that? I feel like the offensive line just needs to be a bit stronger. I would love to see us beef up that offensive line. The Athletic reports, Nick Baumgardner says the Cardinals have done an outstanding job maximizing draft capital. Now it's time for the next step. Edge could be priority, which everybody loves, along with offensive tackle or guard, and Banks can play either of these O-line spots. You won't be surprised to hear that there are two other edge Edge James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee and Edge Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M are also part of this mock draft in the 16th spot, along with defensive tackle Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. But shoot, I was so happy to see an offensive tackle being recommended by CBS Sports, The Athletic, and as I mentioned already, NFL.com. They're saying they could see the Cardinals going for the O line there. What do you think? Do you think we need another edge? Are you happy with where we're at on our defensive line? Or are you with me? Just a fan making a statement, but I'd love to see more protection on the offensive line. Let's talk about who the Cardinals have already picked up. We got Josh Sweat right away in the free agency. His stats are pretty impressive. 237 total tackles, 43 sacks, 54 tackles for loss, 7 forced fumbles. And yesterday on the 20th, the Cardinals posted about Akeem Davis Gaither, 71 games played, 2 interceptions, 122 solo tackles, 203 total tackles, and we picked him up from the Bengals. We also picked up Dalvin Tomlinson from the Browns. 36 tackles for loss, 125 games played, 19 sacks, 342 total tackles. We also picked up a new QB, and this happened last season. We picked up Desmond Ridder for a hot minute. However, Clayton Tune outplayed him. Could this happen again with Jacoby Brissett? He is a veteran quarterback. He's started many games. He's got a 61% completion rating, 977 rushing yards, 68 touchdowns, and 11,400 passing yards. A backup quarterback for sure. Is he better than Clayton Tune? I know a lot of you think he is. I just love Clayton, though. I feel like he's so talented and hasn't gotten the opportunity to really shine. So, is this going to light a fire and create competition? What do you think? Will the Cardinals keep 3 QBs? I sure hope so. And if not, I really would love to see Clayton just rise above the same way he did last off season through camp and hold his spot. And here's a brand new signing. Offensive lineman Royce Newman. Now, I was just saying how I would love to use our draft pick to beef up our O-line. Well, we've picked up from the Buccaneers a veteran lineman, Royce Newman. I don't know a ton about him, but that's exciting. And we also picked up another, let me find that one, cornerback, Jalen Jones from the Bears. So there's that. It looks like we're picking up a little more steam here as the free agency rolls on into the draft. I really wanted to cover the draft again this season, but as you know, if you've been listening, I'm out of work and it's just not feasible for me to pick up and head to the draft. If it was in a little bit more of a convenient place, I definitely think that I would go and make the attempt. However, I do encourage you to follow along on the Sick Podcast Network as there will be coverage along with my affiliation of Women of Fantasy Football. You know, there'll be coverage there as well, so you won't miss a thing, I promise. Here's a little fun team merch news. As if you weren't aware, you can now buy an official Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey in the Cardinals team shop, online, wherever you buy your Cardinals gear. He has settled with NFLPA, and now those jerseys are officially available. I know some of you get yours in unofficial ways, but the real ones are now available. Additionally, if you're a season ticket holder, check your email. This is actually several days ago, but if you search Birdseed, that is the season ticket holders newsletter, and you will see they had a new community text, I don't know, program. I went ahead and texted, and it asks you to identify what you're most interested in hearing about. It sounds like they're trying to better tailor their content to season ticket holders, and I'm all about that. So make sure you check your email and look for the latest bird seed and text that new community chat, I guess, and see what you get back and if it helps to improve your Arizona Cardinals news. One bit of news I was super excited to see was that Zay Jones agreed to terms. Zay Jones, wide receiver for the Cardinals. A lot of people have been talking about our wide receivers lately, and I don't feel like we need to stack them up anymore. We have Zay Jones here. We have Michael Wilson. We have Marvin Harrison Jr. So I was just checking on Greg Dortch just to remind myself what his contract terms are. And it's restricted tender, which means another team can inquire about Dortch, but the Cardinals have the right to match or better the offer. So currently he's under a 1-year contract for $3,263,000, and he'll be a free agent next year. So I feel like our wide receivers are doing pretty great. When we talk about cap space for the team, I went to overthecap.com and looked at the Cardinals salary cap. Right now it says there is $45,287,968 in team cap space. So what is that, more like 45,300,000 rounding up? $45 million. We could do a lot with $45 million. And I feel like the Cardinals, exactly as NFL.com said, have been a little bit slow here at picking up the pieces that we really need. But do I know what they really need? No. I'm just a fan that likes to talk about sports. But I agree, it hasn't been that groundbreaking, it hasn't been that exciting. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear. You can find me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Kelly and Phoenix, also over on Blue Sky at Kelly and Phoenix as well. And let me know what you think. That's about all I have for you right now. Just wanted to kind of run over what's been done. I know I missed a few names. Sorry about that. But you can check out the mock draft tracker over at azcardinals.com and see where I got some of my information. Also, follow the Cardinals on Twitter if you aren't already. I love everything that they share. On Instagram too, they're pretty great. So that's about it. I'll see you next week with a new episode. Maybe I can get Shar to come on with me and do a positivity playbook. We haven't done one of those in a few weeks. So I will see you then. Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.